Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
There we go. Hey, everyone. It's Thirsty Thursday, and I'm so glad you're here. It's going to be a good day. Today is a good day to have a good day. There's Helen and Jackie, and I know Amber and Jenny are on the loose, too. How is everyone today? We're going to have a good show today. We're going to be talking about some more thinking stuff. Hey, Debbie, good to see you. Catherine's there. Listen. This stuff is good stuff that we're going to be talking about today. And I felt like, ooh, goodness gracious, I needed this. I know I did. Trisha, I think you're going to like this as well. Welcome. So glad you're here. And by the way, a bunch of swag bags are just going out to another big batch. If you are not a part of Full Bloom and you like to have cute, sweet swag, it's time to get on it, because once those swag bags are gone, it's gone. That's it. We have only so much physical swag for the swag bags. And after that, it's just, they're gone. So it's a fun thing that we do, but it's for our early birdies. Can you tell? We're really excited for Full Bloom. So savingdinner.com/bloom. Go get signed up now. Now's the time. It is happening on Saturday, April 24th. It is all day long. We do it on a platform where we can bring people in and connect. It's not like it's just, it's going to be my head that you're looking at the whole time. We're going to have a bunch of other times. So I'm looking forward to that. Suzanne, Carla, Denise, good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Juanita's here too. Yay. There's my girl, Yvonne. Good. Angie, Patsy, Jocelyn, Martha. Hello, Rami. I haven't seen you in a while. Isn't it so fun to be here? Kathy is here. Yep, love you guys. So glad that you're here. The other thing that we have is a pop-up boutique for people who are going to Full Bloom. Although it's funny, we've seen a few orders of people who haven't yet signed up for Full Bloom, and I'm going, what's up with that? Get signed up. Jennifer, I just saw yours, as a matter of fact. Cindy, good to see you. I'm telling you, check out the Full Bloom pop-up boutique, savingdinner.com/pop, P-O-P. So cute, so cute. I got the hoodie, the flip-flop. I mean, I got most of the stuff. What are you going to do? A girl's got to have what a girl's got to have. Vanessa, Joanne, Jama, good to see you. So we got all that stuff going on. You have to check it out. Also, we have only two questions for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Q&A. We do it every single Friday. Do you want your questions answered? Send them in to support@savingdinner.com, and question for Leanne on Friday. It will be in the queue for tomorrow. Today is the last day to get your questions in. Otherwise, it goes to next week. But we only have two questions, and usually it's loaded. So, get them in, right? Get them in. Secondarily, beauty support is flying out the door. You want this. Hi, Louise. Good to see you. Amber's here too. Beauty support is what helps your body create its own collagen. So this is something I just would not be without. It's one of our most best-selling supplements, and furthermore, it is exclusively proprietarily ours. So check it out at savingdinner.com/show. If you want beautiful skin, this is part of it. It's an inside out job as well than outside in. There's several things that we have to suggest for that, but check it out. And you're also going to get our Cook Once, Eat Twice bundle of like 50 recipes absolutely free. That's an amazing thing. Plus our mugs are there as well. Don't forget about our mugs. I love our mindful mugs. We set our environments up for success. This reminds us to be mindful when we have our meal. You understand how that works. Find out about them and how to get a free one at savingdinner.com/mug. Got that? And what else do we have? Our quote deck. Good grief. Who has a quote deck and is loving it? I mean, throw me some pinkies. Terry's in the house. Hey, Terry. Throw me some pinkies. Marguerite, she just showed up. I love to see Marguerite here. Here's a good one. Wait, no, that's too big. One of the happiest moments in life is when you let go of the things you cannot change. What is up? Here we go. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Lots of, so many. Melissa loves hers. There's my pinkies. Noreen has one. I know she does because I've seen it in her pictures. Carla loves hers. So does Jocelyn, Melissa. This is part of the environmental success, because when we have an environment that supports the life that we want to live, it just makes it that much easier. You take one of these quotes and you put it on this cute little stand, look, and then you set it down on your desk and let it do its magic. Sometimes you're seeing it, sometimes you're not, but it's always doing its magic. You don't think this will influence the way you have your life? Yes, ma'am. SavingDinner.com/quote to go get yours before they're out. That's what we have for you today. And then I don't know, who's doing hydration challenge on Monday? Pamela's here too. Louise, yes. Jane. Hello, Jane. Who's doing it? We start on Monday. It's free. Go to savingdinner.com/hydrate. You can get the whole webinar, and it'll teach you exactly what hydration is and isn't, and how this can move the needle. Because how many times have you been in the place where you just think, all I'm doing is washing my kidneys? That's how I call it now, because you just feel all you do is pee, right? Pee. Well, there's more to hydration than just washing what time on Monday? First thing on Monday. It's already done. Go to savingdinner.com/hydrate, Debbie, to go watch the webinar. But I think you were there. But we just start first thing on Monday. First thing on Monday, get your hydration station set up and just get ready to rock and roll. And watch how the needle moves. You'll see your skin looks clear, weight's easier to drop. You'll probably sleep better, especially if you're doing it the way that I told you to do it, not just with the water. There's a lot of sneaky stuff in there. Go check it out. There's our girl, Lucy. Yes, you were there. I know you were there. I remember. Anyway, I'm drinking I've got a tea here that Diane sent me, this lovely cup. Isn't this so pretty? Last year. Live life in full bloom. So I'm just constantly being reminded about being in full bloom and, being the woman that I need to be, and I am enough is this year's theme, by the way. If you haven't checked it out, just one more thing, savingdinner.com/bloom. Here's the quote of the week. Grace means all your mistakes are now serving a purpose instead of serving shame. I just love that quote. I'm telling you, that is a cosmic 2x4. We don't need shame anymore, right? We need to be done with it. We need to let it go. We need to get on with our lives. And that's why this whole week, as we're talking about what we're talking about, is our thinking week. Thought week, right? And today we're going to be talking about knee-jerk thinking, because we are all knee-jerkers. Oh, and this sounds terrible, but it's true. We all have knee-jerk reactions to certain things. Somebody will say something and you'll just, what? There it goes. What? Switch. You know how it is. It's like somebody has tapped you in the knee and boom, there you go. And there you go, off to the races. So it's a reflex. Can we just agree on that? That it can be a reflex, the way that we think. And when we have different triggers, and everybody has a different way of having different reflexes. You know this, because your reflex, your knee-jerk reaction is probably a little bit different than mine. Just based on my life, my history, my things that get me, my sensitivities, etc. We're all like that. There's my girl, Amy. Good to see you, Amy. And that's what we have to be looking at. So knee-jerk thinking has a lot of tension always, right? Imposed with it, or infused with it, if you will. There's always tension that goes with that. And what is the result of this knee-jerk thinking? We're look for comfort, don't we? Does any of this sound familiar? Anybody understand this? Exactly what I'm talking about? So what it happens is that it's an ingrained habit with its own personal history, our own personal history, and it has a lot of tension and pressure built in, and we automatically seek out the comfort in a relief valve to let go of it. So what happens? What happens with that? Well, sometimes it leads to bad behavior, right? This is how I became addicted to food, and just give me that chocolate. I was all about the chocolate. I was all about the sugar and the chocolate. Now, that might not be yours. Yours might be chips. It might be cookies. It might be baked potatoes even. No, probably not. But you know what I'm talking about. Sugar and carbs are usually the thing. And it's usually some kind of a processed food. And let's just face it. This is what we're talking about is processed food. We get to the place of looking to that thing to comfort us. Instead of dealing with the emotions, instead of dealing with the feelings, instead of writing it out, instead of thinking it through, we knee-jerk to comfort. And what do? We pick up a bad behavior along the way. And then what happens to that bad behavior? After doing it on repeat, we develop an organ trail in our head, a neural connection there, that this is what we do when we need to be comforted. Even if it's ineffectual, even if it just gives us this much relief for this much time, it's still a relief valve. It's still something that we seek out. It's still something that we do. And then it becomes not just a habit, but it becomes an addiction. So it's, binge eating, stress eating, whatever you want to call it. It's just what it is. And, it's just like an alcoholic would turn to a bottle of vodka for just that one drink to take the edge off, or 2 or 3 or 5. We do the same thing with food. And then we know what happens next. So this is how we develop these negative loops. These negative loops all start with a thought. You wouldn't think about turning to a bag of chips or, chunks of chocolate without having the thought first. That stuff doesn't show up. You have to go out, seek it out, buy it, purchase it, put your clothes on, get out of your pajamas, go to the store and get it. So here's some clues I want to just put you into this, because, all of this negative loop, it leads to the negative behavior. It leads to anxious thoughts. It leads to regret and guilt after the fact. You've seen this: shampoo, rinse, repeat, shampoo, rinse, repeat, right? It happens. So here are the clues that you may have this whole situation going, this kind of a negative loop due to a knee-jerk thought. First one is you should a lot. You should all over yourself. I should go to the gym. I should do this instead of doing that. I should. That's where your energy is. Your energy is focused on the shoulds instead of doing something contrary. Remember, where your energy goes, your energy flows. That's it. So you cannot get off of that. You can't leave that behind. If you're spending your time focusing on the should instead of an action, that would be like, okay, so you should do this. Okay, so I'm going to go to the gym. No, it's not the way it works. So we have to stop the should instead of saying I should go to the gym, say I am going to get ready and go to the gym. I am going to schedule the gym. Yeah, we're going to get more into the weeds on that, but I just should is a clue that maybe that negative loop is being fed, starting with a knee-jerk thought. Number 2, you compare yourself to others in a way that's a little sneaky, a little tricky. Well, at least I don't have an addiction to chocolate like Leanne does. Well, at least I have, at least I have good control over X, Y, and Z. Kind of one-upsmanship and just kind of that sneaky, shifty stuff. But still, you got a problem. Still, you got an issue. But you're kind of softening the blow, if you will, of comparing yourself to someone else because you don't do what they do. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Or how about I could never like she does. I could never do that in a good way or in a bad way. When we're doing this, when we're spending all that energy on comparison, we are opting out from taking responsibility. What? We're opting out from taking responsibility, and we're staying in this place of knee-jerk. This is just a buffer zone. It's a buffer zone. It's a shield that keeps us from having to really get into it and say, okay, so what is this knee-jerk thought about? Where is it taking me? Where is it leading me? That's what that's all about. Or there's another clue. You could minimize it. Well, it wasn't really that bad. Or you could catastrophize it's over. Oh my God, my life is going to end because I ate all that chocolate. Either or is an indicator that you're on the wrong track, and that there is this knee-jerk reaction, this knee-jerk thought pattern that tends to feed its first line of defense, and it tends to feed that negative loop. So either way, they both distort the truth, And if we have the truth distorted and we don't know, and we're not we're not telling ourselves the truth, ever hear the truth will set you free? That's exactly right. The truth will set you free from all of this. Okay? So just keep this one in mind. The other one is you've got these negative I am statements going on in your head. Maybe you're not saying them out loud, but you get in front of a mirror. I know how to make it happen, though. I know how to make it happen so that you do say it out loud. Go to a store and go try on bathing suits with the fluorescent lights and the ugly mirrors. Oh, yeah. You'll hear it. You will hear it. Oh, my gosh. Who is that? It's insanity. It is insanity. These negative I am statements. And I want to imprint this on you. When you say things, every time you say those things, you are imprinting this on your brain. Remember, your brain is just another organ in your body, and that you have control. Your mind is not your brain. Your mind is sort of all of you all wrapped in. So when you're saying this, I am so ugly, your brain is saying, you betcha. Okay, you're ugly. Deal. How about this one? Oh my, he's killing me. It's killing me. It's killing me. How about saying that all the time? What do you think your body's going to do? When we set ourselves up for this kind of a thing, you're being killed. That's just it. Your brain's listening. So these negative I am statements are super powerful. I am is powerful. What are you going to follow it with? How about maybe you don't like something? Fine. You don't have to like something, but you need to keep it to yourself. I am powerful. I am able to get into the bathing suit that I want to get into, later on. Or I am going to go to the beach anyway. I am going to allow my thighs the world to see my thighs. Everybody gets in. We're all hypercritical, aren't we? We're so hypercritical about ourselves, especially. But, if we defy that and say, I'm just everywhere, anyway, I'm just going to. You're not playing for a full audience. Nobody cares. Seriously, nobody cares. When we let go of that stuff, we let go of a whole bunch of crap that's attached to that. The other thing is, the next one after the negative I am statements is futurizing. That's my new word. I don't know. I kind of made it up. I think I did anyway. I'll never be able to fill in the blank. I'll never be able to what? I'll never be able to do that. I'll never be able to eat like that. I'll never be able to be that fit. I'll never be able to. Then your brain says, okay, deal. Let's shake hands on that, right? We do this to ourselves. This kind of knee-jerk thinking takes us to the place of going down the hill, sliding down the hill into despair, into hopelessness, into a place where there's just it's a dark place. There's just, how can I ever get out of it? All of this tells us that we aren't worth our time. That's what it tells us. And let me just tell you something. Our brains are hearing every single thing. Everything. Louise says, you just have to say to yourself, hell yeah, let's go. I love it, Louise. Good for you. Absolutely. 100%. And Diane, you're right. Your brain is always listening, because you know what your brain's trying to do? Everything that you're saying, that you're imparting, is trying to make agreement happen inside the body. Your brain is the thing that's going to let go of all the chemicals in your body. We've got chemicals that make us feel good, and we've got chemicals that make us feel bad. So if we want to harness those good chemicals, don't we? Serotonin and dopamine are my BFFs. They make me feel good. then we got to do the things that make us feel good and help us up. So what is the answer to all of this? Awareness plus action, put on repeat. Awareness that this is happening, action, gotta flip those thoughts, ladies. There's no other choice. We're a pancake diet them all the way through, and understand exactly. And I know Jenny just put this out. Who are you? We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Fearfully and wonderfully made. That includes our brain. That includes our thoughts. Should we address them? Should we address the knee jerk? Because the knee jerk doesn't do anything. It jerks us around. It takes control. And we act like these hapless victims. And it's just not true. It's a load of garbage. A load of garbage. So we got to break up with the bad habit of this knee jerk stuff. So breaking up with this bad habit, it's like breaking up with an abusive boyfriend, isn't it? It truly is. Now, there's types of different abuse. I mean, there's women walking around black and blue eyes and lots of makeup on and glasses on at night, because they don't want anybody to see the abuse that they're suffering under. And there's other ones walking around just black and blue inside from the verbal abuse that they're getting. I understand all about that stuff. Understand 100%. Been there, done that, got the unfortunate t-shirt. But I want to tell you right now that whether the abuse is obvious or whether the abuse is subtle and put downish and maybe even sarcastic, like maybe you say, well, yeah, I'm a bikini model, something along those lines. It's a subtle put down. It's subtle. Subtle abuse is subtle abuse. It's abuse nonetheless. And you, if you are going to be understanding that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, you can't afford that. You can't afford that. It's a slap to God's face. It is a pushback and saying, I just don't care. I'm not grateful for what you have given me and what I have. We have to stop this. This is a knee-jerk response, a knee-jerk thought that has to go. It hasn't held us up. It never will. It's only going to keep us going down. And we need to get into the place of understanding that, yes, indeed, we can control this stuff if we make a decision that we want to. Okay, so I've got 5 things for you to do. You who write things down, 5 things to get rid of knee-jerk thoughts. How about KJTs? KJTs? You like a good one? Yeah, it's like King James thought. KJT. Number 1, think about the stink. Because do you remember when we were talking this week, we talked all this week about thoughts, and we talked about Dan Sullivan, who is the founder of Strategic Coach. I was in one of his coaching programs. And one of the things that really struck me and that I came away with was thinking about your thinking. We need to think about our thinking, because so often what it is, we just rush to do the next thing. We rush to the plan instead of thinking about the thinking about what got us there. Because what got us there is not going to get us out. What got us there is going to keep us there, especially with this kind of stuff. It feels like a thumb is on your head. You understand what I'm talking about with that. So we got to look for that. So here's what we need to do. We need to figure out what the bad apples are in this whole thing. What are the bad apples? What are the bad thoughts? What are the things that trigger a bad action, a bad response, and a bad result? What is it? Take a look at that, think about that, and then you can call it out. You can say, you know what? And remember, nature abhors a vacuum. I always say that, but it's the truth. Think about that. What you do instead is you take that thought and you say, you know, it's because of this. This is what it is that I've been doing. I've been using I am negative statements, like when I try on bathing suits. I'm saying all this negative stuff. Instead, I'm going to take that out and I'm going to say, you know what? I've been working hard on this body and I'm pleased with my progress. I'm thrilled that I have the physicality to be able to do something about it. I am thrilled that I have this community that's supportive and holds me up. I am excited that I have this plan that is working on my behalf. Whatever it is that you want to put in there, that's what you need to start doing is flip it out, take it out and replace it with something that's going to support you. Number 2, look for evidence to support that thought. Have you noticed that when you do look for the evidence that's in the positive, that the positive shows up. The positive shows up and you get a new start. You get a second chance. You get the ability to pluck out that thing that's been offending you forever and ever and keeping you down, to replace it with something new. You might see a little, meme that somebody puts in the Hot Melt Sprint group. You might see something that just lights you up, but that was just for you. That's evidence to support the life that you want to live. Evidence to support the vibrant life that you have been seeking. It starts with your thoughts. And when we replace and call those knee-jerk thoughts, that's the place that we start. Number 2, I am statement the heck out of it. You can take anything that you think, and even if you don't know exactly what that statement is, that negativity that you've been throwing down, that knee-jerk thought that you've been throwing down, maybe you don't even know what the main one is, but you have a sense of what it is. Then just because that sense is, it's all about putting yourself down or your body down or whatever it is, then you go through and I am statement the absolute opposite of all of that. And you make a commitment. I've got a thing for you, by the way, for you today, a 10-day commitment every single day to write down, I am beautiful, my thighs and all, whatever it is that you are putting down. But give yourself an assignment that you write this down every single day. I am statement that lights you up and keeps you in full bloom. That's what full bloom is about, by the way, is your beautiful self, who you really and truly are. Number 4, write it down. Okay, so I said I am and write it down, but it's the I am statements, writing it down. But there is also some process involved in the writing down, not just the I am statements, but going further and using your journal, maybe to unload a bunch of crap that's in between your ears. And maybe you've got to do it more than once, but keep doing it and show your brain who's boss. Remember, you are not your brain. Your brain works for you. Your mind is different than your brain, and that you have control over all of this. And when you understand how your body works, including your brain, and you understand that there are chemicals that release, there's bodily responses to all of this stuff, it gets easier to me it does anyway, because now it's like, I get this. So you mean I can manipulate it? Yes, ma'am, you can. And if that means, well, first of all, you got to drain the tube, so to speak, up here and get rid of all that negativity, do it however many times you need to do it. So feel the feels, get rid of the negativity, and then make a decision to go ahead and instead of having your whole life rolling around in this stuff, in all of that stuff, make a decision that just saying, okay, so I felt it, I wrote it all out, and now I'm going to take it, I'm going to place it into the experience file, because there's something there, and I'm going to take that focus, that energy, that expansion, and place it on the thing that I actually want this time. What a difference. Your life will completely change. And then number 5, girlfriend, I'm telling you, if you are missing out on the gratitude, if you're missing out on the gratitude part of all of this, then that's the bow on the package. That's the part that lights this whole thing up, because gratitude doesn't put up with this stuff. Gratitude can't. Gratitude can't live with a food binge. You're never going to sit down to a bag of chips, a pizza, and Big Macs and just say, oh, I have such gratitude for this, because there's a whole different level of thinking. You see what I'm saying? Let's do this. Let's start working on the gratitude, and let's foundationally, even though it's number 5, foundationally, it's everything. It's everything. And if you do not have a gratitude practice and you're struggling with any of this, girlfriend, lovely, pinkies up, girls. Let's go to the gratitude practice place. It's a practice. It happens daily. And when you start doing that, there's something deep inside that happens. And I'm telling you, those roots of darkness get pulled out, because gratitude is sunshine. And this stuff that we're talking about, it's dark and awful. and it's holding you back from the vibrant life that you want. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that when you make the decision to drop this stuff and to start practicing gratitude and writing things out and being powerful with your I am statements, this stuff's going to fall away. Even if you've been doing this a lifetime, even then, yes, even then, because you are worth the effort. You're here on purpose and for purpose. Remember that. Remember that. And from that place, fall to your knees. Get some gratitude going. And remember who you are. Because you are precious. You are beautiful. And if you choose to fully bloom, you are going to fulfill your purpose unbelievably. Unbelievably. That's what I know with all of my heart. To all of you, I love you. Pinkies up. Now promise me this, that you're going to go forward with this, and that gratitude practice, that's a daily thing without fail. Are you with me? Love you so much. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you. You're the best. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.